Thanks for your patience, T Online. We're gonna start here in just 1 minute. So what did you do before real estate? I keep catching you with crackers.
So,
Oh yeah, where in Ohio?
in Painesville, it's like Painesville Township, Lake County, Cleveland, North.
Okay. How far north is that in Ohio? Like how close are you to Michigan? I went to school in Michigan, so I have. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I see. Okay. And are you new to Charlotte? Wow, how are you liking it? Good. I'm glad. I mean, it's not gray for a lot of the year, at least, right?
Yeah, I had childcare for over 20 something.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you have a lot of patience as well, like with toddlers or like what age?
Home daycare, so, yeah.
Wow.
I started in 97 in my home for 11 years.
Wow.
One center and then ended up with 3. It's like when I turned 50, COVID hit. So it's just like,
Yeah, that really had an impact on the childcare
yeah,
business,
it
huh?
was that, because I had like 100 something, almost 200 kids a day.
Wow.
But then, having the staff, I couldn't take 100 kids, I couldn't take 50. So it was everything happened for a reason,
Wow.
so it's like we just started selling our stuff. We had a warehouse up there and everything, you know, trying to get up here. So we had so much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have a team that's been one girl, she been only 17 years.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I bet. What a change in career too.
Yeah, I've always said I have my license up there now.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kept it, because we had properties and stuff like that. I just when COVID hit, I started taking my notary license.
Awesome.
So,
Building other income
but
streams.
this right here, I'm learning. I
It's
never had to do all this daycare cabinet.
right.
They'll have it. I'm with the killer,
Well,
this.
you do have similar resource. Well, at least there's some of it you can outsource. Like my sister and I, you can meet with us for free once a week
Yeah.
and we can do it with you. And especially starting, I would recommend that because it's a lot to learn and that's great. There's so much that you can use,
Yeah.
but we'll guide you on, okay, we're going to do this first. Let's not focus on anything else, until we get our contacts in. So I'll guide you on that. So we'll talk about our downline a little first, and then I'll switch over to the main things that you should be doing to build a successful business.
That's what I really
Great.
focus.
Great. Because yeah, we'll focus on your sphere is where the main place that people get business. I know you're from out of town, so we'll talk about the nuances there.
Well, my cousin, Melissa Clements.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Love that.
Yeah, so she's been down here for years though. And then my other cousins, they moved here about a year ago. So they only like.
Oh, I love that you have family here. So that brought you
yeah.
here. That's great. Okay, so you have a sphere here.
Yeah,
at least
but, I need,
to grow it as well. Right. Okay, well, yeah, that sounds exciting. Well, yeah, if you need a coffee or water or anything.
I'm just about to grab.
Okay, yeah, take your time. Leah, yes. Yeah, great meeting you. All right, thanks again, T Online. So we are focusing on growing our downline today and creating a system or some tools so that you can grow your downline. So if you're not familiar with KW's profit share system, it's really awesome. You can, right, anyone essentially that you tell about KW and they come and meet Teresa and join, right, you get a percentage of their sales forever. And it's cool because it doesn't take it out of like their sales or anything, right? It's taking it out of the market center's profits and distributing it back to anyone who brought people to KW. So it's truly passive income. I've known agents that have recruited an agent that went on to open a Keller Williams office, and now they get a percentage of everyone that agent recruits to the office. So putting some time into growing your downline can be very lucrative, okay, as well as growing your sphere. So sphere and downline are the two things that we want to focus on in wealth generating, okay? I'm going to show you some tools that you can use to be more intentional about growing your downline. If you would like to join me on kwbresources.com, okay. This is the internal Keller Williams website. So kwbresources.com. And I have notes on today's class and tools for you to start growing your downline. If you can hover over tech resources on the top black toolbar and click on the second option down, and I'll catch you guys up whenever you're on your computer. So tech calendar and notes. So again, kwbresources.com is your internal website for all things KW Valentine. If you hover over tech resources and click on tech calendar and notes, the second option down, the notes are on the very bottom of the screen, so you can scroll to the very bottom. And it's called Launch Your Passive Income Stream. Okay, it's just a Google Doc that you can click on that we'll utilize for today's class. Okay, and I'll put it in the chat for those of you online. Okay, but again, this is on KWB Resources. Hover over Tech Resources on the top, Tech Calendar and Notes. And on the very bottom, you see the Launch Your Passive Income Stream. All right, notes are in the chat too. Okay, so as I mentioned, right, the great thing about KW is the ability to grow your profit share. So telling other people about KW, if they join, right, you get a percentage of their sales forever. It doesn't come out of their sales, it comes out of Keller Williams profits. And if they go on to do something like open a market center, as I've seen agents do, you get a percentage of every single agent that they recruit each month, each time that they sell. So this is definitely something we want to create a system and a model around to be more intentional in growing your wealth through passive income, right? All right, so here you can read more about KW's profit share model if you would like to. But what we're going to do in today's class is we're going to do three main things. Okay, we're going to create a Google form to help you capture leads. Okay, and I'm talking about leads like agents, right? Whether they're new agents or seasoned agents. Okay, we're going to use a Google form to capture those leads. I'm then going to show you how to create social media posts about a KW and schedule those out, and then also creating an email system to be following up. So anytime that you have a new recruit that you meet, right, an agent that you would like to join KW, you can add them to your database with a tag, and they'll automatically receive monthly emails to stay top of mind. Okay, so if you would like to, let's go ahead and create the Google form. Okay, so I'm going to pull up a Google form I already have created, but under number 1, if you want to click on Google form, where I have that hyperlinked, it just goes to Google Forms. So you'll just need to log in to your KW email account, or if you have a Gmail account, you can go ahead and log in with that. All right, so this is Google Forms. If you haven't used Google Forms before, it's very awesome. You can essentially give it any questions that you would like to ask to capture lead information. So if you want to do a raffle at an upcoming event, right, you could create a Google form to have them enter their contact information for a $100 gift card, right, for a chance to win. All right, so the Google Forms are really, really an awesome tool to learn. You get that under your KW email, or if you have a Gmail account. And if you'd like to go ahead and click blank form, so that big plus sign on the top, I'm going to give you guys some questions that you might want to ask new agents or seasoned agents to get them to join KW. Okay, so you can click to create a blank form, and then we can go ahead and kind of mirror what I have here to help you guys out. Okay, so I know you won't have a banner, and if you are not at the spot, feel free to ask questions to get there, or I can come around and help. Let me know if you want me to catch you guys up. Okay. But, all right, well, if you want to do a new tab and then just go to forms.google.com. So yeah, you can just erase that and then go to forms.google.com. All right, and on your Google form, first of all, you can go give it a title. So whatever you would like to title it, if that's your real estate career with Keller Williams Valentine, join KW Valentine, right? I would give it a title. And now if you guys don't know, right, oh, good. If you guys don't know, right, so if you are dealing with a new agent, they can get a rebate for their entire license to be paid for. Is that correct, right? So one of those questions, right? And that's an enticing reason for them to fill this out, that they can get their entire license paid for by Keller Williams Ballantine, okay? So if you want to, you can put in the description, you can indicate any of that. My goal was to make this applicable for new agents and seasoned agents to capture that lead information. And Serge, we're on forms.google.com. You might already know that. But if you want to, we're creating like a form to capture lead information for recruits. And then you'll see under the description, take your time, that we can start adding questions. So if you need to add a new question, right, on the right-hand side, you'll see an option, a plus sign that you can click Add Question, okay? And we might want to ask things like their name and contact information for starters. So if I click Add Question, that plus sign on the right-hand side, or if you have a question already displaying, you can click on it and change it, let's say, to name. First and last name, whatever you want to say. And then you'll see an option to the right of it, a drop down that would allow you to toggle if you want it to be a short answer question. Do you want it to be multiple choice, right? For name, probably just want that short answer. And then we're marking if we want that required. Okay, that's a big one to note, guys. This little toggle right here will make that question required for them to fill out. So we can use our judgment on that. For example, I did not require them to put in their phone number in case that would scare them away. I'm projecting, that would scare me away. Okay. But you can make them all required, right? Or if you wanted them put in email. So what we're doing, and I'm going to scroll down so you can see my questions, all right, is we want name, maybe email, phone number. All should be short answer, right? And we want those required. Then I might suggest putting in some questions about their real estate career, right? So if you want a new question, you can see the difference between my two questions here, right? How I have these are squares versus these are circles. Okay, the difference is, so on this one here, that these are check boxes, allow them to pick multiple, okay? So if you click check boxes, they would be able to click more than just one. We might want to know what state they're licensed in as well. And I know I might be going fast, so please don't hesitate to stop me. This is for you. I can go back, answer any questions, catch you up. Thank you. No, please. Yes. Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah, so blank form, and then I put like the title of the form as your career at Keller Williams Ballantine, or if you want it to be like join KW Ballantine. The description, something like answer the questions below to find out more information about getting your real estate license paid for, and the, you know, something like that, or the awesome resources Keller Williams provides. And then the first three questions I did search were name, email, and phone. And again, with the required here, right? Okay, I might want them to definitely fill out their real estate career, but if I don't absolutely need them to fill out the state they're licensed in, right? Leaving off some as required can just encourage more submissions, right? If it's too many questions, sometimes they might not fill it out. So just something to think about when you're deciding if that should be a required field or not. The last question I would recommend adding, and I can scroll back up if you guys need in a second here, but I would recommend adding, would you like info about your real estate license rebate at the Superior School of Real Estate? All right, so that will prompt you to then send them the rebate information, hook them up with Teresa. I'll show you what happens once they fill out the form and how to get email notifications and all that. Would anyone like me to scroll up or down? Yes. Oh yeah, here, okay. And I don't know if I mentioned, Serge, when you were in here, but you can click the plus sign on the right-hand side to add more questions. Great. And then are you comfortable with changing like check boxes? And okay, great. And then the required field would be the main other tool. Good question. Would you like more information about your real estate license rebate at the Superior School of Real Estate? And of course, you can phrase that differently. That might be a little chunky wording on my part, but you get the idea. Right, and just so you guys know how that rebate works, and Serge, please correct me if you know differently, but they pay for their license, and then when they join KW, it's paid for. Is that right? Okay. So just as far as how you're, it's not like you're sending them a $500 rebate coupon. And, in preparation, you can always chat with Teresa to get a more clear, how that works so that you can have a response ready if they do say yes. All right, would you like me to scroll anywhere to see other pages or other questions? Because I'm going to talk about implementation now of this form. Okay, so implementation wise, so we just have to change a couple of the settings, and you can change also the design. So for example, at the very top, right, you should see 3 tabs: questions, responses, settings. If you click on responses, this is where you will see any responses that come in, okay? Now we want it to notify us via email that when responses come in. So if you can click the 3 dots on the right-hand side, this is really important, or it won't email you a notification of any new responses, okay? By default, it's off. So you have to click the 3 dots and click get email notification for new responses, okay? Make sure that's a practice anytime you create a Google form. That's what we want to do, okay? Now, the next thing that you'll want to do, if you can click on settings with me. And the responses here, let me double check which one it is that you have to change. Make sure for email addresses, does that say do not collect for you guys by default? Awesome. Okay. Okay, this is the other one you want to make sure is off. See this one right here? It should say restrict to users in KW. We want that off, okay? Because we're using this for the public. I don't remember if it's on by default. Mine was once. So just make sure the 2 things we're changing in settings, or making sure that in settings it says do not collect their email. Okay, they're going to put it in manually. And we're going to turn off restrict if that was on. Yep. And guys, just so you know, like if you guys want to create this, and if you do a Google form to capture like leads for a raffle, you can come meet with us and we can help you implement it. So really you just understanding that this feature exists. So then when you want to use it, we'll have a one-on-one, we'll implement it for you. So just don't worry about the nitty gritty. I don't want that to overwhelm you because it is a lot. All right. So on the very top, let's go ahead and just change the theme if you would like to. So you'll see the little color palette up there. This is where I can do 2 things. So I can change like the background color. That's how I have it a red color at the bottom. Of course, you can change fonts. And if you want to add a header, you can. How I created that header was in Canva. I can show you guys more about that. But if you have like a Facebook cover banner, right? Maybe trying that. Okay. That one, of course, is less important, but I do like to have that banner. So this header, if you do include that, that's what this is, right? In the meantime, if you do have the KW Ballantine logo on your computer, that might be a great thing to add. And if not, I can show you how to grab that in just a moment here. Questions on the Google form before we implement it? Yes. No, please. Keep the questions coming. I appreciate it. Yeah, and just noting that I made this one like the circles. I forget which one that is. Right? So that they could only pick one, and they can write other. But again, I mean, you could do the check boxes. Oh, good question. The responses. Multiple choice is what it is. It just makes it so they can only click one versus check boxes do multiple. So whichever, honestly. But I do use those two differently if I want them to select one answer or if I want them to select multiple answers. Yeah. I did not, but again, up to you. I figure like if they don't fill that out, I could always ask. So my goal was to ask as little questions as possible. I also made the bottom one not required in the case that they are a seasoned agent, right? That wouldn't really apply. All right, so as far as implementation goes, right, no one's going to find this form unless you drive traffic to it, right? That's the same with any website that you have, okay? So first of all, I'm going to talk to you about how to create a social media campaign, including this form, okay, to schedule out. And then I'll show you how you can add it to emails as well. You can even embed this on your Keller Williams website, and I'll show you how you would go about getting that done, okay? So first of all, what we do once we're done with that form is we click on send on the very top right. So send on the very top right. And I want you to click on the link option in the middle. So it'll first show you like an email that you can send, but this link option right here, all right, this is the actual link to the form, and you can click shorten URL, which I would recommend. And that will make it shorter. You know, not to be crazy, but you could even purchase a domain name that said careersinrealestate.com and forward it to this form or to this form on your site, which I'll talk to you more about. Okay, that's a little next level. But what I'm doing right now, again, is clicking send on the top right. That's where I grab the URL for this form so I can share it. Again, click the link option in the middle. And I would recommend clicking to shorten the URL so it's not so aggressively long. And you can copy it. Okay, so we want to copy that. Click on copy. All right, and we'll come back to this. Leave this up because we're going to need to grab this URL because we're going to switch gears just slightly so I can show you now how to actually implement it and get it to your sphere. All right. So if you do have the notes still open, great. I'm just going to reference that. What we're doing next is we're going to go ahead and they have pre-created social media posts in Command for this exact reason. So I'm going to show you how to go grab those social posts and then how to schedule it in advance. So we could go ahead and schedule the 3 that we find in Command once a month for the next 3 months, and boom, our next quarter is taken care of. Okay. So to do that, if you'd like to pull up a new tab, so we're going into Command for this. Okay. So Command is agent.kw.com. Okay, and this is where you'll go for all of your online tools for you as a KW agent. Okay, this is your CRM, your contact database. So it's agent.kw.com, like it's the agent login for kw.com. So agent.kw.com. And do you have your password? Do you have a password? Wow. So you're already set up with Scholarly Marketing? Yeah. Awesome. Love that. And you are as well. Do you have your login for Command? Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I can always help clean things up. Okay, deal. All right, so where we go to find all, and okay, and just so you know, Thursday's class is the Command overview. So I am going to be focusing on specific tools in Command, and then that Thursday class will give you a better overview of everything you have an option for. Good. All right. Well, so where we need to go to grab our social pieces that are pre-created, on the left-hand side, right, I want you to click on the designs icon. It kind of looks like a canvas with a paintbrush. And just a heads up, as you're learning Command, the best thing that you can do is come into Command, click this KW logo on the top left, and you'll see it pans out just what each one of the icons means. And you can just click on each section of this to see what access you have to these tools and how it can use in your business. And then we're happy to help implement it for you. Again, that's a KW resource that's free for you. All right, so designs on the left-hand side, and then the action button is always on the top right from there. It'll always be this greenish button on the top right, will be your next action. We'll click Create Design. All right, in this case, we'll click on Social and click Next. Again, just stop me if I lose you. Hang on, I probably need to switch browsers. So then that'll take you over to the platform that Command has that's similar to Canva. Did anyone else get an error message or did that work fine for you? Good. Yeah, this is an old issue. It's probably like the cache on this browser. All right, but on the left-hand side, while you guys are still working on it, click on, you should see like I love KW, like as a category. And actually, click lead generation. I'm sorry, that is that one. So lead generation first on the left-hand side, and then there's an I love KW. That's loading. Okay. And if you click on, you'll notice at the very top, awesome, that it's, okay, no worries. Let me see here. So click on lead generation right here. And then click on, now on the left-hand side, again, I like that I love KW, but there's also like one on the left-hand side that's like website and my app. I like those too because, right, we're trying to show agents what value KW has that other firms don't, right? Which, by the way, KW is the only brokerage that's ever created their own technology in-house. Other firms have tried and they were like, no, this is too much, right? So our control over that lets agents build these tech tools, right? So they're all very next level. So in order to express that, so you can grab, look at those designs a little bit, see which one you like. I would encourage you to pick 3 that you like. Okay, and if you just want to click on one, that should allow you to open it. I can do it now on my screen. Okay, yeah, one more thing to show you guys actually before you click into it is on the very top, depending on where you are, right, you'll see that it has different sizes, right? I always pick on, depending on what you're doing, right, a social square, because it's really just like the same designs over and over in different sizes, which makes it a little overwhelming to look at, in my opinion. So if you click on social square, it'll show you, okay, this is what I could put directly on my Instagram and Facebook to schedule out. All right, so for example, a couple that I would want to add, maybe I like this one a lot. I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot. Oh, are those the coming soon templates? Did you click on, so you'll need to click on lead generation on the left-hand side? Yeah, exactly. Right.
There we go.
So whichever one you want, guys, go ahead and click on it. There's really just one thing you'll have to change on these. So click on the piece itself that you decide to use. Oh, you might have to click on use on the top right of the piece. So hover over the piece and then click on use on the top right. Okay, and again, right, we're looking for a piece that appeals to other agents, right? So this one's not about your sphere. We're trying to highlight how great KW is. So the only thing you ever have to change out on here is the DBA name right here. Just always defaults on KW DBA name. It's easy to switch out. So I'm going to show you how to do that in a couple clicks. Okay. So first thing, click on the logo we want to change out. So any picture, you click on it first. And then on the left-hand side, it should take you to logos automatically. And if you can click on the My Assets option, you should have the KW Ballantyne logo in there automatically. Is that correct? Okay, great. So now what's key here is that we have the wrong logo selected on the piece. I can tell because it's blue. So then when I see these logos, I'm not just going to click on it. I'm going to instead click on the little circle, arrows in a circle. So it'll switch out the exact formatting and it won't just add, like if I just click on a logo, right, it'll add it big in the middle and I need to resize it, which is fine. But if you do it the way I showed you, right, where you can click on it and then hover over the picture you want to replace and do this little replace icon, it keeps the same exact formatting so you don't have to redo the work. Does that make sense to everyone? Great. All right, so that's really all you have to do. Of course, you could add like your headshot here if you wanted to, right? But really all you have to do is change that out and then we're going to save it. Okay. So now you can download it on the top right. So depending on if you want to like go directly to Instagram or Facebook, right? You can click the download right there to save it as a JPEG, to save it to your computer so you can go to your socials to post it out right away. All right, I'm going to show you how you can schedule it in Command specifically. All right, so to do that, right, I'm just going to click on done. But if you want to go ahead and download it just so you have it on your computer, you can again click the download button on the top right and click on download. JPEG is typically the file format you want to use. And I'm going to click on done when I'm ready. All right, so when I click on done on the top right, again, let me know if I lose you. It'll take me back to my designs that I've created and I have saved. Okay, so this is where we kind of started that process under the design section, right? So anytime you come into Command and click on designs, you can now edit that design that we started, right? So again, designs, we can edit here, or we could create another design by clicking on the top right. Now, in this case, I'm going to show you how to go ahead and schedule it from Command. But in practice, right, typically what I do is I would go create those 3 designs first, right? And so that I have them, I kind of batch do it to make the system more efficient. All right, so if you do want to click create design to create that next design, you can. But I'm going to show you how to schedule it out next. So in Command, right, we create all our designs again with that design section, but in order to actually blast it out, that's where we have this megaphone. Okay, so we make our designs and designs, but then to blast it out, like schedule it on social media to post when I want it to, right? That's that megaphone icon, and it's called the campaign section, right? And again, the KW logo will show me what the name is. And after I click on campaigns, I click create campaign, right? The action button's always on the top right. And I'm going to click social post. Now we might need to connect your accounts to Command. All right, it'll tell us in just a second here. If we click on social post, okay, it might tell you that you don't have any accounts created. Okay, great. So I'm going to help you link that up. Do you guys have a business Facebook account or business Instagram? Okay, so that is required to schedule any posts. So Facebook requires it to be a business page, so does Instagram, if you want to schedule in advance. So I can show you how to do that and all the strategy around it. So for right now, if you'd like to just watch how that will be implemented, and then I can always help you implement it as soon as we have like your business pages set up. All right, so but what this platform gives you the option to do, right, is I can come in here, and if I have Instagram linked up as well, I can go ahead and have my Facebook and Instagram. All right, the text that I can write, all right, and this is actually a new feature that KW, has anyone used Chat GPT? Yeah, so have you seen KW use Chat GPT? It's pretty fun. So it's a brand new feature. So if you have the Command mobile app on your phone, you can either pull it up there, or I'll show you on my desktop so you guys can see what it looks like. All right, so essentially it's like Chat GPT, but KW smart. So like it knows all the KW one thing book. It knows what you should be doing in your day as an agent, right? So now you'll see on the bottom right, there's the sparkle. And it'll give you some questions, which I love, like what numbers should I use to track my business? What steps I should take to define my value proposition? Write a 1-sentence social media post inspired by the one thing, right? So what I could do here is I could say, write a social media caption encouraging a seasoned agent to join Keller Williams Balance. Oh yeah, it's a sparkle now on the very bottom right of like your command homepage. I don't know if it's, yep, that thing. Oh yeah, and you probably have to agree. Because, right, you're agreeing to, it could be wrong. So you're just fact checking it. I trust AI probably more than myself, but, it's okay. So you can see it wrote that caption for me, right? It wrote, seasoned agents, elevate your real estate career with Keller Williams Ballantyne. Join a community of top producers, sharing profits, and be a part of a culture that values your success. Take the next step towards a rewarding partnership today with hashtags, right? I didn't have to think, and I can just use that caption. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. This just launched like last week. And again, it's useful to use instead of ChatGPT because of how much real estate knowledge it actually knows. Like it knows the entire millionaire real estate book. So if you asked it, probably what's the most effective 33 touch plan, those kind of things. All right, so what I'm doing now is I can copy that, right? So I can copy that caption and use it now. And I know I'm switching tabs. So again, more just kind of watching how that this is possible, right? Because now I'm going to schedule out that text to be here. Okay. So in the campaigns, right, I put the text that KWIQ just came up for me. Hey, thanks. And I can click on add media. I find it's very small. The media button. It's my mom. She just walks in, like she does at my house. I know. I like when she comes in and brings me Starbucks though, so I'll let it fly. Anyway, so the add media option here, I think it's really small. So I just want to point that out, that that's what we click on in order to add, like if I saved it to my computer or if I made it in my designs, right? I'll click on browse design so that I can just simply click on that design that I just created. All right, it tells you to crop it every time. So it's fine. You can just click on crop image. Right, and it adds in that image that I just created in the design section, right? And yes, no, yep, campaign. No, click on create campaign on the top right. If you want to bring up your Facebook, I can kind of guide you on how to make a business page, or if you're not there quite yet, that's okay too. Yeah, so click create and then awesome, yeah. So then essentially I took whatever whatever that's called, and put it there, like the text that it wrote. And then the little media option is super small, but like then if, yep. Okay, but there's a key thing we want to do with this caption, right? We want to include the Google form that we created, right? So in order to actually capture leads, like, yeah, posting on social media is great for visibility. You're now top of mind, okay? They might DM you, right? Especially if you put that instruction, but how about we put our Google form, okay? So if you do have that open in a different tab, great, you can grab that, right? So this is back where I'm on my Google form, and I know I'm switching tabs on you guys, but I'm going back to that Google form and clicking send, right? This should be open already in theory, but if you're on the Google form, click send and click on this little icon right here for the link. You want to shorten the URL and copy it, okay? So now I can include that in my social media posts, right? So I could write, interested in learning more. Would you like a tour of KW Ballantyne, right? Interested in a tour around the new Keller Williams Ballantyne area location in Ballantyne Corporate Park. All right, so the idea is you can include that form in the social media caption. Okay, it's really important. Anytime that you have a website, people are not going to stumble across it. People go to Zillow, realtor.com, they pay thousands in SEO or to Google each month to be at the very top. It's up to you to drive traffic to your websites. All right. So if you're trying to grow your downline, you would want to include that there. If it's Instagram, you could put it like in the link in bio. You just can't have it links in, or they're not clickable in the Instagram post, right? Just frustrating. Thank you. One final thing to note here that's really great. It does keep you in compliance if you post through here. So as you can see, compliance right here. It says I have 2 check boxes. So I can include the Keller Williams logo right from here. So if you are adding a piece, like if you just totally took out the KW logo, you always have an option to add it here and your ownership statement. So just a heads up, I like posting it through here because it keeps me in compliance. But the final step on the bottom here, this is where we could schedule it out. So this is where you can be like, okay, I would like this specific one to go out, let's say on Thursday. And you can pick the time, right? And then I could do the same thing, make another post and have this scheduled out to send out August 11th, right? Usually I try to time block per quarter to do things like this. So identifying, okay, what are your 2 wealth building streams? Is that your sphere and your downline? Great. I want you to focus on per quarter to make 3 social posts in the very least and schedule those out in advance. You feel comfortable in kind of the how? Yeah. Love that. Okay. It's a very powerful tool because social media, yeah, it can help you really generate leads and recognition, but agents tend to spend like 2 hours on one social post, and that's nowhere near a good enough use of your time. Why is mine? Because I don't know, the KW logo was in the middle and I couldn't get it off, so I just stopped trying. So no, yours won't. It happened to you? Oh, well, I should have gone through it. I thought it was just on my browser. What'd you do? New one? Okay. Yeah, I'm like pressing backspace harder and that didn't work, you know? So that might be maybe something they're working through then. I haven't seen that glitch yet, but sorry if you're running into that. I'll let you know. It should just go away. You know, they fix things like this all the time. But I'm glad we have a workaround. All right. Yes, please. Okay, sure. No problem.
Thank
Yeah. Okay, so do you guys feel semi-comfortable in how you can grab pre-made social media posts and schedule it in advance? So yeah, if you took like 2 hours on a Sunday watching TV and, you know, made 3 of these, 6 pieces, like talk about even the holidays. There's a piece for every single holiday in there. If you made a holiday piece for each one and scheduled it out, well, you're at least staying top of mind for every holiday, right? And that is another option. Yes. Yeah, that's true. Right, because the main use of your time, you need to be reacting or growing relationships on these platforms. So like the 10-5-1 model, do you use that in your social media building? I always tell you guys to do it. Yeah, well, so like being able to like, for the algorithm and for relationship building, right? The algorithm works like this. If you guys don't ever interact, they don't ever see your posts, period, right? So when you go on Facebook, you see all your friends usually first, and there's some people you never see, right? Because Facebook thinks you guys don't interact. Okay, well, how do you get someone to start seeing your posts? You interact with them, right? So 10-5-1 rule would be 10 likes a day, 5 comments a day, okay? And that's not, you don't need to be like Shakespeare out there, just like great pick, right? So 5 comments and then 1 DM or 1 post, right? That's the model. So 10-5-1, 10 likes, 5 comments, 1 post or DM, right? And this is to grow the relationship. So, right, posting things doesn't need to be about your real estate career, right? When you comment something, just the act of you commenting now grew that relationship. Like, do you have anyone, I don't know, from high school that comments on your posts that you're like, we're kind of friends, even though I haven't talked to them, right? Enough that they might buy a house from you, right? That's the goal. All right, questions on that before I continue? Okay, I'm just going to show you in theory how you can also set this up as an email to send. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys what smart plans are. Again, this is a little next level because I'm going to show you how to create a custom smart plan. Okay, and then of course the Thursday class will be great for you guys to get an overview of everything. So what smart plans are in Command? And Serge, click on schedule post if you didn't already. Okay, cool. Just don't want you to lose your work. Yeah. Cool. All right, so smart plans. What is a smart plan? Okay, this is one of the biggest things that we will work on learning and implementing right out the gate, okay, outside getting your contacts in. Smart plans set up your internal systems. So yeah, they can automatically send emails, they can automatically send texts, they can remind you to call people, right? It sets up all your internal systems so you can follow up with leads separately, okay? So for example, I would want a smart plan, let's say, for any agent that I meet. Let's say I do a cross deal, or I go to career night at KW, or I go to Superior and meet people, right? I would want to then put them in my contact database with that tag of, let's say, recruit, and I'll show you more on the how there. But then I can set them up on an automatic email system or call reminders that will go to them once a week, let's say. So in Smart Plans, so again, KW logo on the top left will show me what the words say, but the Smart Plans icon looks like a to-do list with a settings gear, which is fitting because it's automating your settings, or your systems rather. So on the top right, again, action button always on the top right, let's click create. Okay, and I'm gonna name this recruits. And click create plan. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is, all right, day one, I can put any of these steps here. So if I want it to automatically send them an email the day I meet them, right, or the day I put them in my database, I can start with that. So what I'll do is I'll click and drag, so you can drag to drop it in this little square. Okay, so day one, it'll send an email. All right, so and let's say I want that email. If it's a design, you can select that, or let's say I want the email subject, like, have you considered KW Valentine? Have you considered Keller Williams, right? Keller Williams. Now, as far as the what you put in here, that is something I would recommend asking KWIQ. We can brainstorm around that. There's some great resources, okay? But I'm going to show you first just the how, and we can talk further on that. All right, then we could go ahead and write out the email that we would want it to send, again, to a possible recruit so that they name you as their sponsor when they join KW. So if you write in hi, just a heads up, you could put in a merge tag, which means, so it'll say like, hi, Leah, hi, Serge, right? So it'll say their first name. My biggest recommendation is make sure, none of your contacts have the first name of like a-hole in your phone, because then it'll say that. And I know some of mine do. So anyway, right, make sure that you're just conscious of what the first names of your contacts are, because that could go wrong. And then we can go ahead and put something about KW. So this is where I might go back to the KW IQ that I showed you and tell it to write me an email instead, right? So you just want to watch, I'll show you. Let me see if I can ask it to write it as an email instead, because you can in ChatGPT. Write it as an email instead. So yeah, this is that KWIQ, right, which I found. No. Okay, I'm going to see if I can copy and paste it as an email. One sec. I'll tell you the best practice in 30 seconds. And of course, you could just grab that text and bring it in. Yeah, it doesn't like that. But like you could just grab the text that it told you to write for that, and just you want to phrase it just a little differently, like not put hashtags, for example, or emojis in an email would be the main difference, right? So I can copy that text and go ahead and put it in my Smart Plan email. All right, you would want to put in like your contact information at the bottom as well, because it doesn't automatically display, but you could use merge tags to put that information in, to put in like agent first name, agent last name. Okay, but again, what the point is of this is including that Google form, okay? That's the point of us sending these emails, right? Yeah, to stay top of mind. Hey, do you need anything? We met at Superior. Let me know if I can help you with your license, right? Whatever that is, we then want to include the hyperlink of this form. So if they have any questions, they can just fill this out to schedule a tour of Keller Williams Valentine. So of course you can write whatever, but I wrote ready to tour your future real estate firm. Click here to fill out a few questions to get started. And I put that link in, or you could hyperlink it. Do you want to see how to hyperlink it? That'd be helpful. Do you know what hyperlink means? Sorry, That was probably a dumb question for your level, but one time I had an agent on the phone that he tell me he could not figure out his URL. And I was like, your what? URL, URL. I thought so. I loved it. So just in case you like, because right, you can see the entire link. If you didn't want it to say the link itself, this is a little next level. But if you want that to be hyperlinked instead, meaning like if I wanted to write the words click here, right, I could then highlight that and click to add hyperlink. Let's see if I need to do it differently. I probably need to write the words click here. So yeah, sorry, I did that in a different order. So it needs to be, you just click the words add hyperlink, and then you can do the entire thing right from there. So you'll click add hyperlink, you would write the words that you want it to say, like click here, and then you would add the link right here, and that would make the words the clickable link. Yeah, and I can help you implement that too. It just kind of cleans it up. All right, so once I have that email in here, I can go ahead and click add step at the very bottom to save that. Okay, there's just a couple more things I need to show you just about how this works. And then I'll take any questions or we can talk more about your sphere as well. So now, all right, that's step one. It's sending on day one. So whenever I put them in our database, and I'll show you how you add contacts, but they'll get an email, okay? How many days do I want to be between that, right? Okay, so like, let's say I want let's say a call reminder to give me a call reminder. So go ahead and click on add day, okay? And that'll give you another step here. All right, and if you would like a call reminder, right, you could do slide over the make a call. And what it would do is it would automatically remind you, let's say 8 days later, okay? I'll show you how you can adjust the days. 8 days later to give them a call, okay? So when I'm adding in, let's say the call reminder, I would put in the task name, let's say call recruit, or I could put in call their first and last name. And then if you want to put in any description, like if you have a certain script that you want to use to follow up with these recruits, you could put that in here. Okay. And then scrolling down, right? This is where you can just adjust when it pops up as far as a reminder for you. So you're going to get this task notification both on your command app and in command itself. And I'll show you how you access those. Right? But we can add in reminders for it to essentially systematize how many, like who you should be calling each day. So the idea is that you wake up each morning, you look at your command app, and your system tells you which people you need to be calling that day, right? So if you meet someone last Tuesday and then you met someone a year ago, right? They're going to be on totally different systems as far as when you need to be reaching out to them. That's a lot to internalize. This does it for you, okay? So this tells you who to call and when, as long as you set up a smart plan around that. Let me double check. So, and two, like where you adjust like how many days between, this is the final thing that you guys really need to know, is see where it says wait 1 day, right? So depending on, it typically takes about 6 to 8 touches to you to actually get branded to someone as either a trusted real estate agent or a trusted real estate resource for their career, right? So in general, that's where you hear the term an 8x8 for new contacts. It's because it's doing 8 emails or 8 touches in 8 weeks, right? So if that's going to be an 8x8, then I would separate each one by 7 days, right? So I can go ahead and separate them by once a week. That's once every 30 days, right? Whatever you want it to be, that's how you would decide, okay, they get an email, 7 days later, they're going to get an automated text from me. 7 days later, I'm going to go ahead and call them from this call reminder. Does that make sense why we would use this? Okay. So again, using this as an idea that you know that this feature exists, the best thing that you could do is if you want to implement this, take a Word doc and write down what would you like each one of those emails to say. If you were going to come up with 6 short emails to encourage someone to join KW on a Word doc, what would that say? And then, I mean, if you just schedule with us, then we can just add it to the smart plan within seconds, and bada bing, you have your system set up. So I'm going to click on Save Plan on the very top just to show you lastly how you would add contacts to this plan. Any questions on the smart plan itself? Okay, this is probably one of the most used features in Command, so you will be using this a lot. Okay, I'm going back to Command, and just as a final thing to show you guys is your contacts, and this will be the best thing for you to work on as well as you're working on gearing up your business. What's awesome about KW is, when you're starting a new company, when you're an entrepreneur, like no one really gives you like a manual on how to do it. KW has figured out like the numbers, the exact amount of conversations you have to have. Do you have a goal on that, Serge? How many conversations you try to have per day or anything?
So at least 10.
And how do you do that? Do you call people? Do you try to run into them in the wild?
Yeah, so that's usually the best case, but
Yeah.
no, definitely calls, texts, do a lot of.
Love that. And actually that brings me to, just so you guys know, are you using the birthday or home anniversary smart plans? Nice. Yeah. And like, how many people remember your birthday? The older you get, if you get a handwritten note, you're like, wow, I feel a connection. I feel like I'm kind of obligated to use this guy to sell now. So that very personal touch. And again, and I'll show you too, you can make it so it just reminds you to do that, right? You get a reminder 7 days before to write the handwritten note, and on the day of to call. Yep. And you have Twilio, right? Yeah, so that's another aspect, right? It can automatically text for your contacts as well, which is awesome. Yeah, you're one of the agents that use that at a high level, right?
Yeah.
Love that.
Otherwise, it's
Right, right. Right, and they know it's a marketing text, but that doesn't change that they now saw and remember that you're in real estate and that's the resource you provide, right? And a lot of people don't respond if they don't need that resource right now, right? But since it's on a system, that doesn't discourage you, right? After like 4 texts of no responding, I would personally get discouraged. But if it's a system, it's a numbers game, right? So as far as your contacts go, just the last thing to leave you on, right? I know you probably know about the 201 Club, Serge, but for those of you that are new here, the 201 Club, so the numbers that KW that has said that you will create a $120,000 business if you have 201 fully complete contacts, okay? And that's really our first push as you join KW in this contact section. You can import them from your phone, okay? But what it's saying is, okay, not just 201 phone numbers or 201 email addresses get you that kind of business, right? If you have these 5 items, okay, the 5 items that get you a $120,000 business is you having their email address, their phone number, their physical address, and then bonus points for their birthday and home anniversary. And I'll share with you like the how that we get those. But the reason is that Command has a system to reach out to them, automate each one of those touches on each one of those channels if you have that contact information, right? It can automatically send out postcards. It can automatically send out monthly emails about what's going on in their neighborhood specifically, right? If you have their physical address or their email address, right? And their email address. All right, so as you're working, what to work on first, your sphere would be the biggest thing. Again, we can import right from your phone. If you go through your phone contacts and see, okay, where can I start completing these contacts more? All right, I can help you set up systems on how to find that contact information, but between now and the next time we meet, if you are new to KW, that's what the biggest thing that you can be working on is completing your sphere. I will say it's a little bit of a soul crushing activity, right? Because it's just so cumbersome, right? However, it is the best thing you can do because then you can automate every one of those touches on the channel that's best for them, right? You can reach out via email to a contact all day. I don't even open my personal email. I would never see it. You would need to reach out via email, text, and call. Let's say I would never answer your call. I don't answer random numbers, and I don't look at my email. I would see your text. That's it, right? And a lot of people think, oh, well, if I'm doing one channel, I'm good. No, we need to do all 3 of those channels for what's best for them. Questions on that? Yes, exactly. On all three. You know, a lot of people get discouraged, like, oh, I don't want to blow them up. Like they feel like they're hitting them from all sides. Realistically, people don't see it on all those channels. And if they do, they get a postcard and see you on Facebook. They're like, whoa, this guy's business is so big, he's everywhere, right? So are you talking about the things you need to get? Yes. Physical address. Yep. Birthday, home anniversary, phone, and email.
One of them was text.
Oh, call, yeah. Call reminder, text. Yeah, you can automate. And it's a call reminder. I wish I would just get like an AI bot to call for me though. That'd be great. Soon, like, that's so weird. Well, now,
Well, you know the guy,
hey Jen, no, I don't think so.
so you can speak to a 30-second video, and then you can type whatever text you want. And then these in 26 seconds.
Wow. Is that a paid service?
That one. You can get a free.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about. Like in order to leave voicemails, have you ever used Slide Dial? I'm not sure it's beneficial for you not to actually talk to them, but it makes it go straight to voicemail. So that in theory, you could touch without even talking to them. Like it doesn't ring, it just goes to voicemail. So if you don't want to talk to them and you just want to leave a voicemail, slidedial.com, it's free. Yeah, I love that. Right? I know, I love that. All right, guys, and just so you know too, like to find those items, like the addresses, you can look in Realist, right, to find their addresses. Do you use Forewarn at all?
No, but I know it's like the.
Yeah, in the MLS. Yeah, because I believe you can find like their phone numbers from there as well. Like if you don't have, yeah, an agent did it in class and was able to pull up their phone number. I think she had like their name and maybe physical address. So if there's certain things missing, right? So yeah, and like birthdays in Facebook is like there's cool because yeah, on the side, right, it shows all of your friends' birthdays instead of just, you know, one at a time. I'm probably not even logged into Facebook actually. Yeah, well, kind of. It's maybe not as great as I just made it sound, but like it shows you all of like for here, will you just pull up your Facebook so I can show it there? Computer, if you don't mind, if you're logged in. Yeah, if you guys have a Facebook and want to see how to look at all of your friends' birthdays and more in bulk, you go to facebook.com and then you'll need to be on your personal. Perfect. And then on the left-hand side, click on friends. So facebook.com, if you click on friends on the left-hand side, and then you can click on birthdays, and this will look normal, but if you keep scrolling down, scroll down, like keep going, you'll see when it looks different. There, that. So like you can hover over each one and see when their birthday is instead of having to go to their profile to find each one. Is that better?
Cool.
Yeah. Right. So then you could enter all of those birthdays in your command. You just can't search for them per se. So on facebook.com, oh, nice. Okay. Facebook. And then on the left-hand side, click on friends. They're like shortcuts on the left. I'm saying on a desktop. So, but it's friends on the left-hand side and then birthdays again on the left-hand side. And it'll look normal at first, like how it's like, it's so-and-so's birthday, wish them happy birthday with a little text box. Keep scrolling down like to the next month. When you get to like August, then you'll see a bunch of bubbles that you can hover over to see their birthday and their name. And then you would want to add that to your database. Even if it's just their name and their birthday and you have to work on getting their phone number, that is so valuable to have in there, right? Because it will remind you it's their birthday right on your phone so that you can even in the very least reach out on Facebook, right? All right, that is, I mean, all for class. I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have. I know, good, I'm glad. Yeah, and just if you ever want us to do it for you, or if you want to see what we do for the recruiting sites, if you want to do it yourself, Canva can make websites, which is cool. So like This is what I showed in team meeting too as well though, but like, right, you could create like a Canva. This is a website on Canva. We can do this for you. I can show you how. Right, essentially it's just like a landing page with funrealestatecareers.com. That's her domain she bought. It just says everything about KW, and the form that we made today is linked to every one of these buttons. Right. Oh, that's messed up. Yes, I did. Canva has websites, which is awesome. So yeah, and it has like the link to that form everywhere. It just really gives them all the information they would need to get started with KW. So if you come in, like I'm happy to show you the how, right? Because our business model is we'll teach you how to do it for free, or if you just want to leverage it, because I know that depends on where you are in your business, right? At the beginning, you guys have so much cash outflow starting a business. That's how it is, right? So we're happy to teach you the how for free. Actually, to tell you that, kwbresources.com is how you book with us. So it says I need tech help on the top right. That's our Calendly link. You can meet once a week with us for free. The office pays for it. So, you know, if, let's say we meet every Wednesday for 30 minutes. Great. Then we'll implement during that time. I'll give you quote unquote homework to work on during the week, and then we'll come back and we'll implement it again, right? You're right. It's not your job to know all the technology. Your job is to sell houses, right? So focusing on really just knowing on the tech side what's possible to implement, we can then implement it for you. Yeah, you can. Let me see. So this is, sorry, I switched to KWB resources now.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, command is where like you go for all your tech tools. So you're so right. But like kwbresources.com specifically is like our website, like internally for Valentine. So like if you have forms you need to get to, or anything they talk about in team meeting, it's all going to be here. The office calendar. Why do you go to KWB resources, Serge? Do you? Okay, great. Okay. Yeah, like now the concession request is here too. I don't know if that's gonna come up more now, what's going on. But there's a concession request I made for, it's with the Google Form, so now you guys know how that's done. That's under office resources. Do not call list is under there. Oh, good. I just made it, so it'll go to Tasha, and then she writes you a concession approval letter or something. Does that sound right? With the information that you put in there. Yeah. Good. Good timing. I could
That's
read
good.
in your head. Oh, and I don't know how, does this come up often now?
Oh, okay.
Because you're giving away technically KW's money as well, right?
Even though it's just commission.
Keller Williams.
So it's technically.
Okay.
So that's just why they have to approve it, and they will. They always do, but you know, because it's, yeah, like their name on the listing agreement, right? Things like that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Not at all.